Hey everybody, it's me, Vac, and I'm here to talk about something that I personally feel like I should talk about this. And believe it or not, it's not Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV related. No, this time I'm talking about Dying Light. Now, here's the thing. I love Dying Light. I enjoy the idea of being able to, run across rooftops, climb up walls. Parkour is friggin' amazing, and the movement system in Dying Light is absolutely wonderful. The combat system's a little iffy, but nothing I can argue against. Now, Dying Light has a lot, and I mean a lot, of DLC. Most of it is just costumes, maybe a couple new weapon skins, or maybe a few new weapons to unlock. And that's all fine and dandy. They sell for practically, they're almost as cheap as chips. Now, there was an update a while back when they did the whole entire move towards, making a more, I guess the word complete edition would be appropriate. And this update included I think it was this update. It included the Haran prison riot, which, you go to the prison on Haran, you wipe out zombies, you wipe out people who are shooting at you, and it's basically like a time trial. You're trying to clear all the content and get to the vault at the very end, and your reward for clearing it in a set amount of time is, fat loot, because, that's pretty much all the game is good for after you've beaten the story, is just grinding and getting better, better loot, playing with your friends, doing multiplayer and killing your friends, so on and so forth. Now, the thing is with the prison riot is that the prison riot was free. Unlike previous DLCs, such as the Bozak Horde, but, it was a free update, and pretty much everybody enjoyed it, as far as I could tell. Hey, this is post-processing Vac here. Yeah, apparently people hated the prison riot. So, goes to show how much I was aware at the time. But again, I play single player. Anyway, back to the video. Recently, Dying Light put out another DLC. This DLC being Hellraid. Hellraid introduces a new area, which is supposedly, from what I understand, the story has it, Hellraid was originally another project that Techland was working on, but ultimately decided to give up on it, and instead they decided to use the assets to make DLC for Dying Light. Now, on paper, I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing, but the problem is the proof is in the pudding. And this pudding is not a good pudding. This pudding is very bland. It is very basic. Some of the unlocks you get for completing Hellraid are nice, but the problem is you have to repeat them over and over again. And on top of that, Hellraid itself, if you're only going to run it once, you're only looking at about maybe 30, maybe 40 minutes of content. If that, and that's playing casually. Here's my problem. If they had charged $5, maybe $6 for this, I would not be complaining here. I would not be sitting here making a fuss about it. They charged $10 for what is effectively under an hour's worth of content. That flies in the face of all reason and sensibility. I'm sorry, but if I'm paying $10 for content, no. It has to be at least, I at least expect 2, maybe 3 hours of content if it's supposed to be story-based DLC or activity-based DLC. I expect more than 40 minutes of do it once, and every time you repeat it thereafter, it's the same content. No. That is very poor. That is in very poor form, and personally I feel like Techland should be more than a little ashamed of themselves for being this bad. As far as I know, on Steam, the ratings for it, the review for it, ain't exactly in the positives, This isn't like when The Following was released. This isn't something that everybody was absolutely going gaga over. This did not breathe new life into Dying Light. If anything, it kind of made people go oh god, are Techland getting this lazy? I don't know. I feel like to a degree that Techland, I don't want to say scammed or robbed their users, but it doesn't feel, it's not a good feeling. You know, this feels like they're expecting you to pay top shelf prices for an inferior product. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if there was more to Hellraid, like if every time you played it up to a certain point, you would unlock a little bit more of it, maybe have more monsters, have more, like, of the tower to explore, have more, like, story involved in this little side venture, then yeah, that could have been great, but that's in the end, that's not what we got. What we got was a watered-down combination of Bozak and the prison riot. I don't know, I feel like they could have done a lot better with this. Like, this is definitely, like, not good. Like, it's not exactly a 3, but it's definitely like a 4 out of 10. The only thing that saves them is the fact that you get a nice suit of armor when you complete it. But I mean, let's not mix words. Sometimes a spade is a spade, and this is a rotten egg, plain and simple. It's like, no. Sit down, go back to class. I'm done with this. Just, what a mess.